As you might imagine, there are quite a number of things we can go back and do now that we've gotten the drone, the grapple, various other things that we found in Kur. So our next step in the game, in lieu of any further direction, is basically to go back and start going to all of those places. First, however, you will remember that a couple episodes ago I noted a secret world entrance up here. What I have to do is drill through it, and that's right! It is Axiom Verge sing-along time in this secret world. And we get Shooty Nightmare and Blue Death stuff in this case. Just gonna leave that behind. So where do we want to go here? Let's try down. Interesting, they actually switched to this music for the secret world, even though we're coming from a place using the outdoor music. Happily, that's non-functional goop. Is it? Is that functional goop? Nope. Oh, that was quick. Yep, something like that. Those are the official lyrics confirmed by the signer. Really. Whoa. This is a scary area. See if we can do something about some of it before I go any further. Can we do something with the reflector here, maybe? Oh, reflector's pointless. You can be killed. Yeah, and almost everything you can take care of pretty well between the Kilver and the Axiom Disruptor. Whoa. Are actually assuming you have the grapple for this secret area. As far as I can tell, there's no way to get up here if you don't have it. Interesting. Phase Urge. And another one of these. Lovely. These I can get rid of here. Ow. Maybe the firewall? Still following though. Ah. Worse. Any more ghouls? Yep. How about you come over here? And you just stay down here. Or not? Ah! Okay, there we go. Out the other way is really not all that interesting, so how about I just meet you on the other end? Alright, we're out of there now. Did not take nearly as long as the last one did for some reason. So, that's the last we're going to see of the mountain area for a little while. So, we're just going to wander on through here. These things are a lot less dangerous than they were initially. And you can make the silk bug get killed by a drone there. It's amusing. Alright, that's the last of the mountain for now, so let's go back into the caves briefly. I glossed over it previously. There is a entrance to another area over there that you could go in right now, but you can't really do anything right there now except die, so I am staying out. I also think the flow of the game works better if you don't see that area until later anyway, so... Instead, now that we have the grapple, one day, we can actually come over here into Indy, which we saw previously. So, over here, there was that big jump that we had previously, that we can now get across with the grapple, and what's this? Whoa, it's a head, and it's carrying me. Well, this is Oraka. The name is not really used anywhere in-game yet, but you can learn that from the Steam trading card or something like that. Basically, whenever you land on the platform on top of the head, she'll start going in whatever direction you're currently facing, and stop moving as as soon as you jump off. And also anytime you get to one of these door areas. And if you note the map in Indy, it basically is just connecting through all of the 4 zones we've been to so far. And it's just a long hallway that Uraka goes up and down. Up here, we can't do anything up there. There is a note there. Get later. There is also a save point over here. Might as well get health back. And unfortunately, riding on Uraka doesn't actually let you map the bottom of Indy, so I'm going to very slowly walk along the bottom here. These things, those are green sea sponges, just like the hives we saw earlier. When you hack them, they start releasing life instead of clouds. And I want to be a little bit careful here, I think. Well, I think I already hacked it. That is a... what do they call it? Giant boulderback? Yeah, giant boulderback is the name of that thing. Normally, they can only break the bit of stuff they jump out of. When you hack them, they can drop a little lower and break a few more things. You can also only damage them when they're in the air like that. And I bet there's another one in here. Yep. Yeah, that's what they do when they're not hacked. You would be forgiven for thinking there might be something in the hole they dig out there, but not this time. And then these are... which ones are those? They're just called Slug. Okay, I'm gonna not get too close to this one because I do want to hack it. When you hack them, they start glowing like that. And the first one you hack will actually give you a health node fragment. Now, if you don't hack them and approach them, they burst in a similar way, and there are bees. Do try to hack the bees. They are a distinct enemy type. When you hack the bees, they just float away like bubbles. Those are called Slug Swarms by the wiki. You can only get one health node fragment from them like that. If you try to do it again, they just drop a little bit of health when they explode. Okay, that's all I can do over here for now. I just wanted to pick up those items and hackeries. Also, to demonstrate, if you leave the main area of Indy and come back, Uraka will be at whichever entrance you come into. So that's a little bit of a shortcut if you need to make sure that she's there after you've left her somewhere else. So, that done, what I actually want to do is come down into this entrance, which takes us up or down to the top of Z, where we couldn't get earlier. Make sure to map that corner. There's nothing in here. I'll show the map briefly. That's where we were at the top of Z. And previously, you'll remember, there's this jump here we couldn't make without the grapple. So, now that we have that and other items, there are a few things we can get in Z that we couldn't get before. You noticed on the map there as well, I expect, that There was one corner that we couldn't get to before, up in the corner of the boss room here. Or the room behind the boss room, that is. Basically, to get there, you just need to grapple across the ceiling like this. Yay, I think I made it without falling. And another power node fragment. Hooray. Come on. Yeah. Okay. I'm not sure, but I think that's a brown ghoul. It's a different enemy type from the gray ghouls. Huh. Interesting. Do ghouls actually kill each other when they're hacked like that? I have not seen that before. Well, anyway, there's an area over here that we need the drone to get into. And I believe the sources have called this the Drone Gauntlet. It's a fairly lengthy area that you have to go through as the drone, and it's full of things that want to kill you. So I'm going to be as careful as I can to avoid death to the extent that I can manage. That didn't work very well. And down here, that green thing is a Parasitic Shrub. If you've played Metroid, you know basically what they do. In this case, I can come down to this hollow, and it will just jump over me over and over. And I can slowly destroy it like that. But if you get too close to them, they will jump on you, latch on, and drain your health. This one, I think, will just jump over me, and then it can't get me, so that's fine. And just run under the spider. Alright, these I can just trigger to jump over me, I think. Eventually I'll guide them down here into the lava or something. Can't jump that high, can I? Just come up this way. And I'll just run past this one. And what's in here? I believe I need to push to the right as I jump off this ledge, so I can land here with that ghoul friend. That allows me to get in here these other ghouls that are going to destroy me, but not before I get another note about English. Someone discovering English for the first time. From Queen Elizabeth I, apparently. Whatever. Yeah, I don't think you know necessarily who wrote the green notes yet. All the other ones we've seen were written in some strange language. Kill you. Just keep running, keep running. We should be able to just barely get through the door here. And what do we get for running the drone gauntlet? this is the Voranj. Done with that, so we can warp back to Trace now. Did map that whole thing, right? Yes. So the Voranj is basically lightning bolts like that. There's a bit of randomization in how they split. It doesn't do very much damage, but it's good for spreading out and doing damage to a lot of things at once. Just a moment checking my map here. Okay, I want to go straight across again. Yeah, that way. We can now hack a bunch of these things, which we couldn't before. I'm going to use the Voranj now. It doesn't do nearly enough damage. Let's see, I haven't hacked any of these yet either, have I? Again, they just start dropping health when you hack them. The tunnel hoppers, you will note, when hacked, they start behaving like those laser squid things we saw earlier in Ereboo. And I'd really rather they not do that. What's in here? Spiders. Hack them, and I think they just slow down. Which ones are those? Hopping spider, I believe. Hack the bubbles? No. I'm not certain if the bubbles can be hacked or not. So I want to come over here into Kur again, and I want to go back to that shaft where we got the high jump before. I will probably cut here and meet you there. Okay, here we are. Just to demonstrate, I think the Voranj is actually very useful against those wasps, for example. The Voranj is actually another one of the very few weapons that I will be routinely using for one reason or another. Come on. Okay, so you'll remember over here there was this that we could drill into, but we couldn't get in there. Well, now we can. Gradually. And at the end of that corridor, we find another health node fragment. Hooray. And there's also another conspicuous tunnel at the top there. And it's a little bit tricky to get to, so the easiest way I've found to do it, shoot the drone up there with the extended drone reach thing, and then double tap X. That will, or actually just hold X. That will both convert the drone and make it start firing, like this. Do that a few times and you'll break through that first set of blocks. So with that done, we can come up here with the grapple and get Trace on the platform. And you need to have Trace up here, because otherwise you can't lab coat through that wall there. So, if you've played this game, you know what's coming. Okay, over here, there's a big cavern full of the purple squid things, and this jumping thing. And you know what these things do when they get hacked. They turn into platforms. You know where this is going, viewers. So what we need to do is wait around until we can actually jump onto enough of those things to ride them all the way up to the top of the cavern. And this is going to take a while, so I'll probably cut out a lot of the waiting here. this one's coming down, so I can jump on here. Now or not. Well, I want to have the Voranj selected as my active weapon for reasons you will see briefly here. Because as soon as you get up here, there are these little blowflies trying to dive down at you. But happily, if you have the Voranj before you come in here, you can more or less clear them out by using that. There is also a silk bug up there as well that you need to watch out for if you get too close to the center of the cavern. But I think we actually got all of the glow bugs, or glow bats, with the Voranj there, so I'm pretty clear to start climbing these things now. You can see up there the ledge I'm actually trying to get to. Eventually. Grapple like that, that works. So up here, we find a laser urchin. I don't think it does anything because we just need to drill in there. And we actually do need to send the drone in there, so let's do that. I don't believe there's a way to get Trace in there right now. That whole sequence would be easier with some other tools you'll get later in the game, but just to demonstrate that it can be done with what you have right now. Hold on. Is there a way to break that extra block with the... No, guess not. I thought this was meant to be traversable by Trace at this stage, but apparently not. Helpful, because then I could hack a couple of these glow bats. But I will get plenty of chances to do that later, so I'm not overly worried about it. I'm actually just going to go straight down past most of them now. That takes me down into a shaft like this, where I land on some other item. This is the Tethered Charge. I'll demonstrate it in a moment. Do not go back to Trace yet, because there is another corridor down here that you cannot map unless you go through that whole thing. And there are 9 laser gates there, making absolutely sure you can't get into this from any other direction. No matter what strange hackery you choose to do. This actually lets you out over here, and this is the room where we got the high jump initially. We can actually get in here or out of there for now. For some reason it connects through there. But I just want to warp back to Trace at this time. And because I went more than 2 screens, everything's back. Got the Tethered Charge, looks like this. It's basically kind of a Morning Star thing. You can adjust its angle while it's being thrown, and it returns to you. There are some situations where I like the Tethered Charge, occasionally. It's good if you're trying to shoot something around a corner, but the Kilver can't shoot quite far enough, so I may use that a few times. Anyway, I'm going to go back on over to Z right now. I'll meet you there. Okay, I'm back here in Z. So, let's drop down here. I don't know if... Well, I can hit up a save point here. Doesn't really matter if I take that damage. This is the shaft I'm actually aiming for. I don't think I pointed it out before, but if you look at the map, there's not a wall on the bottom of this shaft. And if you look very carefully here, there's something you can kind of get through with the drill, but Trace can't walk through it. Can't teleport through it either. But we can drone through it. And down here, we get another health node fragment, I believe. Yes. That's the 5th one we need for our health bar. Then I want to come over here. You will remember that we met Elsinova's friend Veruska, who was deactivated then, and we were told that we needed repair drones to be turned on. Well, now they are. And she talks to us. Creepily. Name? Job? Health? No, that's another game. She makes mind worlds, disturbing ones. Full of blood and pain, apparently. Much like Ereboo. And she tells us that there is a device that belongs to a Thetos that she stole but can't use back here, where you'll remember we needed the drone to get through. So let's see what's over here. First, let's go to the left. This is the Passcode Tool. I'll demonstrate how that works once I get back to Trace. Because over here, there is also a note on black and purple paper. Someone learned how to translate Sudran with passcode. Fair enough. And apparently the Geartop variant helped with that, the Scorpion one. Maybe that's why it was really good at talking still when we met it. I don't know. So, what we can do with the Passcode Tool... if we go into our inventory and use the bumpers to tab around a bit, we have a new screen here that we didn't have before. And basically you can enter passwords here. 12 characters in groups of 6. If you've played Metroid, you know what goes here, viewers. This code was the classic password in Metroid that someone discovered just by entering their name. It's actually not hard-coded in the game, it's just using the normal Metroid password algorithms. But when we do that in Axiom Verge... Hey, where'd my pants go? Well, that is one of the more visible effects of the Justin Bailey code in the original Metroid. It took Samus out of her suit, put her in a leotard, in addition to giving her a lot of other late-game power-ups. So that's what this is a reference to. And yes, I will be playing the remainder of the game with that code active. If you don't like it, deal. The other one we just got reveals Sudran. Let's put that in. Well, first, let me demonstrate these notes that we have here. Like this one we read before. It's written in cuneiform, or something similar enough. If we... put in the code that we got from that other note, and make sure to save it. Close the inventory too early, but now those notes are actually written in English. That is how the translation actually works there. So you don't actually need to interpret that substitution cipher. I'll briefly show off the other ones that I have here. You can also deactivate codes while still leaving them entered if you want to for some reason. In this case, I do prefer to keep the translation code off as much as I can, because otherwise there's no information about what language a note was originally written in. And sometimes that is relevant to the meaning of the note. It's interesting that this macabre tile set with all the skeletons and stuff is right here by Veruska. We saw the same stuff in the vicinity of Elsa Nova's room back in Axiom. Hacking the Orb Wall, they do something or other. They just fire health, apparently. Okay. But naive interpretation would be that those catacomb areas are where the Sudras went or were left behind after the plague killed them all. I don't know, though. Given Veruska's personality and the fact that they seem to be associated with Rusalki areas, I wonder if maybe they have something to do with what happened to all those bones. I don't think there's any specific reason beyond that in the game to think that, but maybe I'm just more skeptical of the giant robot faces than I need to be. We can come up here now, right? Did I just... I'm going to need to reset that, aren't I? I'll be right back. Okay, let's try that again. The trouble with the... address disruptor is that it does toggle the state of blocks like that, instead of just removing them. So if a group of them get out of sync like that, it can be kind of challenging to get them back in sync so you can actually get through them. So, what's over here? That's a green Nautilus, no problem. And a lot of eyeballs. And that's a Parasitic Shrub. Let's stay far away from it and see if we can hack it from here. Not quite. If I jump, I think I can. When you hack them, they just kind of sit there and fire at you, I think, maybe? And that is much, much less dangerous than what they normally do. Ah! Yeah, that is what they normally do. They'll latch onto you, and you just have to try to shoot at them with something close range until you destroy them. I don't think you can shake them off just by moving. You actually have to destroy them before they'll let go. And, making them even more Xenotide-like, we have a couple more of these Orb Walls. Welcome to Turian. And there are a couple more hidden tunnel hoppers in here. I think there's one more there. Yeah. Is that all? Just another Orb Wall. And what is so in need of protection over here? Power node fragment. Somehow, that doesn't really seem to justify the amount of effort it took to get through there. Now, if I look at the map, you will note that there's a purple dot on it. I believe purple dot indicates map completion. There would be another one for item completion, from what I remember. Yes, I think there is one more item in Z that I need to get. Oh, there. They respawned. Ah! As long as you take them out from a distance, they're not too bad, and the aggro radius is not that wide on them. So as long as you can get a good shot with the Axiom Disruptor, you shouldn't have any real problem avoiding them. That will not always be the case, however. So just one more thing I think I need to do in Z here before I finish this session. Yeah, up here. With the lab coat, I can get through here. And get a range node in here. And I think, yes, I now have the yellow dot showing me that I have gotten all the items in Z. So purple is map completion, yellow is item completion. So that will guide you when you're going for item and map completion. Once you get those in every zone of the game, you know that you've finished it. Except that one health node fragment you get from hacking the slug enemy. That actually is not counted as being found in any zone. So it is one that's easy to miss, even if you have all of the item completion dots on your map. Now, you'll remember this jump we couldn't get through before. The grapple is what we need to get through here. And, basically, that is the only reason we went all the way into Kur and got the grapple. So, next episode, I will just head on back into Absu and see what we can get in there with all of our new tools, now that we have access to it again. So I'm just going to save here and be done. Now, something else I want to show on the title here, now that we've gotten the password thing, or even before that, now that you know what I'm talking about, you know what code you should enter at the title screen here, viewers. Up, up, down, down, left, right, left, right. You don't even need to do BA. But you do that, you hear that little chime, and then if you start a new game and skip through all the cutscenes, slowly. Yes, I know, there's a gun in the next room. Thank you. If you enter that code, though, if you go to your screen, you actually have the password system unlocked from the outset, even if you don't have the passcode item. And just to give you a slightly better look at it, that is what Trace's leotard looks like when he's not wearing the lab coat and hasn't had his gun or color palette change. And you actually can see that at the beginning of the game like this by using the code, not in any other way. You'll note the sprite actually changes when he picks up the item, though. Interesting. And you will note that his dialogue picture even changes with the leotard. I am surprised at all the extra sprite work the developer had to do to make that leotard feature work, so... So that's all I wanted to show off with that code, so I'll finish the episode now. Next time we'll continue with Absu.